Greetings and welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is September 11th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing great. I gotta say, I'm in a great mood. I'm ready to lock into some golf. This is a top tier week.
It's a beefy week. Maybe another argument for trying to get things back together in some form or fashion, or more cohesion, less disparate events. We've got 3 men's events in different parts of the world. Bolingbrook, Illinois being one, Newcastle, Northern Illinois being another, and Napa, California being a third.
All different time zones, different coverage windows for all of them. And then the Solheim Cup.
And then in the women's side with the Solheim Cup, we've got a Champions Tour event, big time Champions Tour event. We've got a KFT finals continuing on. That's on television. The women's mid-am is ongoing. There's I think the Folds of Honor Collegiate at American Dunes probably going on.
Playing in that?
Who's in that? Illinois?
Big Tom Morris.
Oh, Big Tom Morris with UT, the Hook'em,
and
the Horns.
And the best golf school in the country, Illinois.
All right. Congrats to you on that, your self-proclamation. So it's a great week. The KFT is the Simmons Bank Open. So that's and Minnehaha is the senior event up there. The Sanford International. I know you love that one.
Langford Moreau action.
Every time I throw that out there, the annual tradition.
They were hiring a new consulting architect, actually.
Oh, really? Interesting. Any
Maybe.
scuttlebutt on that or no?
I can't remember.
All right. Okay. All right.
So
here's where we're at.
Passed through my brain. Hadn't given it much thought since.
With our schedule for the week, we've got a little bit of a traffic jam at the end of the week. I'm going to try to get over to Solheim Cup, which is in Virginia. I guess it's in my area, but oh man, is it daunting to get on the Beltway and get over that. I'm not in a good spot to get there, but I'm going to go over that. You're traveling. We're going to do our typical Wednesday show. Then we're going to do an early Friday show that's more of a Solheim Cup preview, plus golf advice, plus maybe a little extra LIV Bolingbrook chatter, because that doesn't start till Friday as well. That's going to be out Thursday afternoon.
Should we do holes to watch from Bolingbrook?
Funny you should ask. I've got some good. I was digging into the reading material this morning. I couldn't sleep, and I just decided to do show prep at 5 a.m. this morning, and I had to check out the pre-tournament notes for LIV, and just some really good stuff on Bolingbrook.
Island Green.
What?
Island Green. Did they talk about the Island Green?
Designed by Arthur Hills and Steve Forrest, the course open Note 2 is ranked number 1 as public golf course in Illinois by Golf Pass, of all things. Now, the methodology
what year did they open?
02, it says. 2002. The ample space and terrain make Bolingbrook a great spectator course. Okay, all right, can't argue with that. You could just say anything.
Nothing out there.
Nothing in the way. So that's good. Elevated tees, rolling fairways, and 7 lakes are scattered. So we got a lake count on the property.
Not 7. As many. I want to point out, not as many lakes as the sod farm.
The member nines have been flipped for LIV Golf because 2 par 5s and 2 par 5s played as par 4s. Now, our own Matt Rouches, Illinois local, said they probably flipped the knives because the current 18th, ends 600 yards away from the clubhouse, apparently. Signature hole is 165 yards.
Does end way left. I forgot about that. That's it.
Island Green 6th. Apparently, that's your Island Green 6th. With rough behind the green for shots.
They screwed up because it could have been the 15th. It could have been part of the dramatic finish.
Could have been a finish. Yeah, but now it's the 6th.
But with the shotgun start, it's a finish for somebody.
It could be.
It'd be the 18th for somebody.
That's right. The par 5 14th is the longest hole at 600 yards, which Matt tells me was mandated by the mayor. He said, we must have a hole that's 600 yards on the course when we're building this course.
I mean, there's a whole thing about the mayor and the build of this golf course. It is the local politic intertwining of this golf course is very heavy.
Here we go. They went to Phil Mickelson for comment on the course, if you can believe it or not.
Can't wait for this.
Phil in Chicago. High Flyers captain, World Golf Hall of Famer, has competed in more than 750 pro events, but has played golf courses all over the world. For this week's LIV Golf Chicago will be, like many in the field, I would suggest all, his first look at Bolingbrook Golf Club. While the layout will be unfamiliar, he enters the tournament with a built-in appreciation for Bolingbrook's accessibility as a public course. I strains credulity. I think this is Phil talking. I think it's been a really positive thing that everyday fans can go out and play. Add parenthetically, I believe you can play there for $85 the Wednesday after the LIV event. So there is accessibility to his point.
That's too expensive for it, to be completely honest.
Quote, it just feels a little bit more intimate and just creates a better connection. And I'm happy that we're doing that. Mickelson also has an appreciation for golf course architect Arthur Hills, I guess. The designer of Bolingbrook was Steve Forrest. Quote, he's a wonderful architect. I think he's done some great stuff. I did not know he was the architect for Bolingbrook, but that to me is pretty exciting because I think he's very credible as an architect, and I'm excited to see what he's come up with. End quote. So that's your LIV Bolingbrook preview. We'll talk more about this on Thursday, but I just wanted to get some of those course details. I'm legitimately intrigued by the format.
We got to get this out there into the world. People need their Bolingbrook prep. They have to. We aren't going to talk in such detail about Royal County Down. I mean, arguably the best golf course in the world that the Irish Open's at.
Let's go there. You can go there if you want.
Event of the week
over the Solheim Cup.
Yeah,
you're going to call the misogynist.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
Like watching the best golf course in the world. And I'm in on this week's Irish Open coffee golf. This is amazing. I like in terms of like aspirations of what men's pro golf can be. This to me, it's the Irish Open at one of the best golf courses in the world. One of the best, one of the best golf courses in Ireland. Like, this doesn't seem that hard to figure out. Like, this is it. This is the playbook. And I can't wait to watch Royal County Down on TV. I'm interested to see what they do to present the golf course and showcase the golf course. Hopefully they pull out some stops and try and, kind of show why it's one of the best golf courses in the world. I can't wait for this.
Which would be what? How would they do that? How would they show why?
I mean, like some features on the holes and some stuff. I would love if the announcers knew a little of the history of it, like some of the changes. I think that might be too tall of a task, but hopefully we get it. I think it's super neat. I hope they don't just show the last 3 holes over and over again because, show the best holes at Royal County Down are the first 13. These are my concerns, but it's amazing. It's a hard golf course. So I think this is great. One of the things I loved about the European Tour website was they have the entry list, and then they have like all the players where they entered from the club they entered from.
Yeah, they do that. They do that on the DP World Tour. Nice.
Yeah, I love that. I was looking through it. There's fun ones.
There's some.
There's Rory's in from Hollywood.
They put some goofy ones. Some guys get cheeky with it. It's occasionally.
I saw that Foxy's entered from DRTY.
Okay.
In New Zealand.
All right.
We had there's Moore Park, Callum Shinkwin, Moore Park. That's Mackenzie's first course.
Yep. Over there on the Western England.
Actually, I'm thinking Moortown, not Moore Park. That's my bad. Richie Ramsey, Glen Eagles. We had I was curious. We've got Matthew Baldwin from Royal Birkdale. Yeah. Mark Power from Mount Juliet, another Irish Open course.
I'm not hearing a lot of links courses as you run through it.
Well, Connor Purcell, Portmarnock, GC. Okay, sure. That's not the fake Portmarnock, right?
GC, I think, would suggest it's the real. I believe.
Yeah, Lynx is for Part Marnick. Lynx is the fake one, right?
Yes.
We've got let's see, Renaissance Grant Forrest. I didn't know he was a fancy boy like that.
As is often the case with professional golfers.
You know who's playing? Hurley Long. Hurley Long's playing.
He should be playing. The field is, as I suggested, it's disparate. We have a FedEx Cup event, points event in California.
Why are you shitting on the field? You got people like Jason Scrivener in the field.
He played well last week in Crans, Montana. Played well.
Here's one of the things I'm most interested in.
I'm not shitting on the field. I just don't think it's as best as it's not 100%. It's good.
Is this a Matt Jordan week?
Given that
the Lynx assassin.
If you need a 71 or a 70, and that could be the case here. If it blows a little bit, it looks like it could. He's your guy. I think a lot of people are picking Foxy big time. Foxy needs, you talk about sort of the world player. He's kind of on the outside looking in on both tours. Now, granted, he's not played his best golf. He's played okay. Made the cut in all 4 majors. Won the BMW PGA a year ago at Wentworth. But like he's like, I think he's outside the top 100 in FedEx Cup. And he's 96th in race to Dubai. So he's got to like make hay in the next 2 weeks to get into those season enders on the Euro Tour. But everybody's picking him coming in hot. Has played well on this kind of setting. Plays well really in various settings. But he's a trendy pick. He's one of the headliners along with the Irishman, Rory, Lowry, Seamus Power, McKibben, Padraig Harrington. Then non-Irish, you have Luke Donald, who I saw was just in Chicago. He was at Northwestern game. I think he flew straight to, he's over in Newcastle now. Bobby Mack, Nikolai Højgaard, Ryan Fox. So it's like a good mix. It's a good mix. Would you like to see John Rahm, who may, like Flushing It had a tweet this morning, like he may not get on the Ryder Cup. He may not be eligible. He might have. It's becoming increasingly looking likely that he's not going to be able to retain his membership.
Well, he's got to play at Bolingbrook. Where do you think he'd rather be playing?
Okay. I don't know. Probably Royal County Down. Probably on the European Tour. A good purse this week for a non-Rolex Series event. I think it was 6 or 7 million.
Do you know what club Andrea Pavon plays out of?
No. Why would I know that? Somewhere, I'll say Marco Simone.
TPC Craig Ranch.
Someone over there needs to ask him, how does this compare to that? And how will it compare once they get Lanny gets his fingers in the dirt, his hands in the dirt? Should Lanny come over to Newcastle and work on Royal County Down? I'm getting early word that there's some grumbling about the blind shots. There's some appreciation. Some players are fired up about it. Others, as you would imagine, curious, grumbles about the blind shots. As you said, this is really, I would say, the first time Royal County Down's in view of the real modern broadcast. As it had an 07 Walker Cup, had the 15 Irish Open, won by, I think, Soren Kjeldsen, right, in a playoff over Eddie Pep and the Cheeseburger. But, 15, we were still getting through it, trying to figure out, the limited coverage windows. This with full HD cameras, the whole deal, all over the course. They show the leaders on the weekend really from the jump all the way through. You might have to get up a little early, but this is really what is ranked, we're getting into Mark Blackburn territory. What's 1, what's 2, but it is ranked as the top course in the world by some. Whether it's 1, 2, or 10, it is among the very best and rarely seen in public view by with the best in the world on it. So it is event of the week. This is going to be early morning coffee golf, as I noted. They don't even have it they don't even have it listed. What a ridiculous.
They have it listed. I got it right here. 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursday. 3 to 6 a.m. I think this is Eastern. Holy shit. I might have to stay up.
Yeah, because
3 to 6 a.m. Golf Channel, NBC Sports App. 6:30 to 8 NBC Sports App. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. NBC Sports App. Wonder what the 3-hour break's for. What do you think?
The issue is the Solheim
3-hour lunch break on Friday.
Starts foursome Friday at 7 a.m. Solheim.
Oh, so God! Saturday, 7:30 to 12:30 NBC Sports App, or 3 to 5 a.m. Golf Channel tape delay the next day. They're going to be playing Sunday. That's when Sunday morning golf's going to be on. Then they go 7:30 to 12:30 NBC Sports App. I better get the NBC Sports App dialed in here.
I'm starting to understand why it was not listed on the document that I have that usually has all the very comprehensive tee times.
You like because they didn't know what the hell ready for that?
Yeah, good job.
And then noon to 3 Golf Channel tape delayed. They're pulling out all the stops. I can tell that they're going to have the drone out there. They're going to have whole vignettes.
So maybe they were not getting the full modern media coverage of Royal County Down in the way we'd hope. It's going to be a World Feed European Tour Productions deal. But
who would you most like to be on the call breaking down Royal County Down? Lanny?
Zahner? Just talking about the fortitude to battle the elements, the intestinal fortitude, what the blind shots do to a man's brain. What kind of, jungle cat or whatever, tomcat needs to fight the elements. Come up with some animal analogy. Who would you want on the call, Andy?
I don't know. Ogilvy would be fun, but
Joe or Jeff?
Jeff.
Joe's in New York, maybe doing the meetings with the PIF. Yeah, no, it's a worthy event of the week. We're fired up for it. What we're also fired up for is our DRTY. We just did an interview with Billy, getting ahead of it for the President's Cup, talking to him about the uniforms. Some interesting feedback he's getting. Well, you'll listen to this President's Cup week from Mike Weir and Furyk about setting up the uniforms. You too can try out the President's Cup gear, or you can get just their regular offerings at beedratty.com.
Get an Andy hoodie.
You could get the Andy hoodie. Andy hoodie's
or the Brendan polo.
The Porath polo, I believe, is what it's called. I saw they sent that to some fancy boy. Yeah, like 3 billion followers, like a former Bachelor or Bachelorette contestant. Guy probably looks better in it than I do, I would say. But they shared their story. It was somebody, Cameron or something. And he had the Porath polo in his lineup that he got sent to him. So the Porath polo might be coming out of its cage a little bit, getting a little more distribution now that the influencers are getting their teeth into it. But you can buy that at beedratty.com. They've got us set up with our own promo code of SGS30. We've had it really since the beginning with them. You get 30% off at checkout. That's not an insignificant amount of change, just knocks it right off. Anything from boxers all the way up to hoodies. Rain gear, obviously, it's zero restriction. It's youth sports sidelines time for me. I see a lot of this stuff, if I'm honest, a ton of these, whether it's Zero or DRTY, a ton of these items scattered about the sidelines of youth sports, and obviously for fall golf. Jump in there, get out of the sweaty boy polos, get their cotton polos, long sleeve, use the promo code SGS30, support them. They've supported this podcast really from the beginning. All right. Anything else?
I got a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Thomas Power Haran is listed as playing out of Royal Melbourne. Do you think that's the one in Australia or Chicago?
Western suburbs?
Northwest suburbs.
Northwest suburbs, sure. I would guess it's probably the one in the Sandbelt of Australia, just a guess. So you're really fascinated by this home club deal. They always have this.
This is great. I enjoy looking through this. We got, where Jim Morrison plays out of?
Where? Somewhere in England?
St. George's Hill. Yeah. Man of class there,
Yeah.
That's a place I want to go see.
You can, if you're a Club TFE member, you could throw in your hat and maybe hat in the lottery for that.
My favorite
next year.
Yeah. My favorite is the Dutch and the Scandinavian. Also, the J.C. Ritchie plays out of Serengeti Estates. I want to go to Serengeti Estates. This sounds like a nice place.
He's a South African, right? J.C. Ritchie, I believe. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, and then there's Hayden Hopewell, who just plays out of Australia. Just Australia.
Yeah, I mean, guys have put for that the Club Pro guy. What's his event? Like 3 Jack National. I've seen guys list that for some of those. There's all sorts of guys who have a little bit of fun with that. I'm surprised you're just coming around to that. It's a fun little the European Tour does some things different.
What do you think the 59 fund is?
I don't know. Not sure. Could be a virtual golf club.
Mikko Korinen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it's just some charity that he supports that he plays for or out of. I don't know. But do you get my point here about how there's too many events? It's not even a complaint, because I actually think all have their own appeal.
I like all the events.
Yeah, it's not a negative. I actually like the what's now the Procore. I'm intrigued by the LIV individual title thing, even though Bolingbrook maybe has its disadvantages. And clearly, like this event is fabulous with the setting, and it's this mid-September windfall of great golf we get to watch. I think all three have their own appeal. It just feels like, Rahm's struggling to keep his membership. You got guys, do I play for FedEx Cup points if I'm not in the top 50? Do I need to get to the race to Dubai? Foxy's trying to do that because he's not in the last two Dubai events, Rolex Series events right now. It just sort of speaks to there needing to be a little bit more cohesion, cooperation, collegiality between the tours, and obviously some sort of reunification in part, even if not in whole, but something that's a little bit more centralized than what we have this week. Because I think everything's not bad. It's just, can we figure out how to stagger this, certainly, in the fall?
We can't forget about the Corn Ferry Tour either.
I've got that. The Simmons Bank, hosted by Brant Snedeker or whatever.
I just got popped. Just got popped by James Nittis.
Why?
He's saying that we should be giving the KFT more love. Shouldn't be mailing it in on Mondays. Not giving the Corn Ferry enough love.
Can you just pause your notifications? We don't need him programming that.
Similar to who's our guy, the Epson Tour guy.
Jody Brothers. Jody Brothers. Or lack of Epson Tour coverage, and we gave him some Epson Tour
podcasts.
That's your Irish Open over at Royal County Down. On the PGA Tour, we have the Procore Championship. Do you know what Procore does, Andy? Do you know what Procore does?
Podcasts.
I heard it.
That's what I'm guessing Procore does.
It's a software company, if you can believe it or not. I don't know what Fortinet does. It's had Safeway.
That was like cybersecurity, I think.
Okay. There's still the Fortinet Cup or something, which I believe is like PGA Tour Canada or America, something like that. But they're no longer sponsoring this. Procore is like software for construction companies and contractors, I believe. It's at Silverado. It's the first event of the FedEx Cup Fall. It's an 8-tournament series. This is the only one in September. Then they're off for the President's Cup, come back after with the Sanderson following the Pres Cup. But this is a little appetizer. I've always enjoyed this event. I know people probably want us to shit on it or something.
I like this event. It always has good finishes.
I enjoy the 9 p.m. finish. The field is usually not half bad, pretty decent. It just looks delightful. I do. I think it's the most consequential golf tournament of the year. No, but it's always sort of it's always hit a sweet spot for me, and I've enjoyed it. This is 6 to 9 p.m. Thursday, and then a 9 p.m. finish on Sunday. Earlier on Friday and Saturday with 6:30. They're just trying to dodge and weave all around this busy schedule.
Hey, just a great name. I just realized was in the Irish Open. Freddie Ketchup.
Yeah, he just got his KFT card. So
Freddie Ketchup could have his DP World Tour card after this week.
He could. Notables: Daniel Berger made it, I guess. Stuart Sink, Luke Clanton, Corey Connors, Harris English, Hoagie, Homa, 2-time winner, Nick Taylor, Sahith Theegala, defending champ, Michael Thorbjornsen, number 1 in PGA Tour U, and Gary Woodland are in the field. It's a good mixture of players. Monday qualified was Mark Hubbard, who I guess forgot to sign up. That was catnip of the week. He forgot to sign up for the event. Loves the event.
I love
forgot
that.
to register in time, and so then he had to go Monday qualified, and he did. Also Monday qualifying was Sang Moon Bae.
No
Kinda
way.
Had his career
back from the military service.
Believe a past champion. I believe he won this when it was the Fry's.com Open or the Fry's Electronics Open. I think he won this very event or its namesake, original namesake. He Monday qualified.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
If Nick Taylor goes out and wins this week, do you think there's going to be a new Horschel rule for the presidents for P Cup?
No, he's not been good. I mean, what they got to draw the line somewhere.
What if he wins this week? They're going to say the picks were in too early.
Well, I mean, there's got to be a line somewhere. I mean, I'm sure DRTY could retailer the uniforms and get them dialed up quickly. That's not the issue.
If Nick Taylor wins this week, is there a realm of possibility where the Canadians turn on Mackenzie Hughes?
No, there's no realm of possibility where the Canadians turn on any of their Canadians in the President's Cup. They could turn on, Seabez or someone who's non-Canadian, but I don't see that happening either. Wyndham Clark playing, Homa playing, like these guys who are top 50. Berger's back. I love some of the sponsors exemptions. Shipley, Clanton, who's skipped Florida State's event, but can, build some PGA Tour U points here.
Ben James.
Yep. Wenyi Ding, who we've heard is, and seen is maybe a next generation stud, the lanky guy from China. First appearance of Matt Kuchar since we last saw him playing puttering out by himself in North Carolina. Everybody's excited to see him reappear on tour. Sponsors exemptions of members not otherwise exempt went to Mike Weir and Brant Snedeker. Like they did a good job with the unrestricted, but
what? Why?
Members,
why Weir's there?
Why?
He's got to get a look at his team.
Activation feels like a tour just doing activation stuff for its own President's Cup, basically, right? You got guys like Connors and Hughes and all that. And so what are we playing for? Tim Wilkinson's in the field, JB Holmes.
Timmy Wilkinson.
There's a whole I asked people from the tour, what is reorder categories 37 to 44? And they're not sure. They can't find them on the website. I think it's just guys in descending order of the FedEx Cup, but it's hard to find and there's not a lot of clarity. Last guy in the field of that category is Dirt McGirt. So he's in the field. I think it's not a bad field. It's just a mishmash. I just don't think there needs to be that. We're complaining about how we can't get done before dark. We need to limit fields. It's too slow. We're going to have to strike that balance with some of that. So they did a good job with the unrestricted sponsors exemptions. It's a good field. Now, what's on the line in the fall? Obviously, top 50 set. There's no FedEx Cup points you can add for next year. But after the 50, obviously you want to play for top 10. That means you get in the first two signature events, which is LA and Pebble Beach next year if you're in that next 10, so 50 to 60. Beyond that, you can shore up your status and improve your season-ending FedEx Cup tally. So there's stuff to play for. The schedule, let me read it off here. Had it open. What do we got here?
Need me to get it back up?
No, I have it. You sure? We've got Procore. Then we have Sanderson. We have the Black Desert Championship. It's all the ones you've come to know and love, except for that's a new one. Shriners, Zozo.
Lava. There's going to be a lot of lava content.
Zozo's the only non-full field event. Worldwide Technology, which is now at El Cardinal in Los Cabos. Butterfield, Bermuda. And then the RSM Classic, one of my favorites. That's your fall schedule. So there's stuff to compete for. I'm trying to figure out, clearly if you're in that 50 to 60 range, you should be out there trying to get into at least Pebble and Genesis. And if you're not, the luxury of being Spieth, who's not going to play, but probably going to get some board exemptions or sponsors exemptions, whatever you want to call them, can't play. But you should be, there's stuff to play for, obviously improved status that matters. I think they've kind of hit a sweet spot a little bit with this fall of not the main season, but still having sort of impacts in terms of not full-blown relegation promotion, but impacts for the subsequent season.
I think these tournaments are better tournaments than like the midsummer poo-poo platter that we
get. It's not bad. It's not. It's a fair argument. It's a fair argument.
Like these events to be always, I like enjoy a lot more than the in between the major shit that they put on our plate every year.
Right. So yeah, 126 to 50 get conditional, 125 maintain full membership. They just have to get it done by RSM. So that stuff's on the bubble. You got guys deep down the list who are playing for even top 125. I want to come up with some quick awards. We're not going to hand them out, but things to monitor.
All right.
The Gym Rat Award. Obviously, guys who just maybe don't need the points, but are just out there, just grinding, just grinding away in Butterfield.
Eric Cole,
that kind of thing. He's playing the minor league tour.
Well, he's got to be the favorite. He's fresh off a minor league tour win.
There's something I need to workshop the name. I don't know if it's the Jailbreak Award. Brian Gay type who wins at Butterfield and just gets 2-year status, just total jail, cutthroat corner and beyond.
Martin Trainer.
He's on the chopping block. He's like being led to death row, and he breaks out of jail with a quick win. And now he gets 2 more years.
I don't want to go back to this entry list, but I just realized the whole reason I brought it up, I forgot to get to. The Irish Open entry list.
Okay.
I have a question. It's about one of our favorites, Dylan Fratelli. He's listed as the UT Golf Club.
Yep.
University of Texas Golf Club.
Probably free.
That's what are the chances that if you're a UT golfer that you have lifetime access to the UT Golf Club?
I would imagine there's privileges there as an alumnus player and a current
unpaid
pro.
For, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you think there's do you think there's a food area to the UT Golf Club that he gets free food at?
Yeah, there's Gatorades, I'm sure he's just stocking up on. Yeah, I'm sure. Or whatever their drink of choice is, Powerade. Yeah.
All right. That was all. It's just a hunch.
All right. Yeah, so I don't know, the Fall Awards. Jailbreak Award. We're going to keep an eye on that one.
Can we get a frugal? Can we get a frugal award?
We could do that. Why would what would be the reason for that? What's your reasoning?
Whoever was the best penny pincher during the during the fall.
That could be any time of year. I like the Mark Few Award. Just a guy who's beaten up on cupcakes, West Coast Conference. Then you get in just like beaten up, crewing points, just, going nuts at Sea Island, Butterfield. And then, you step up into signatures and it's a different deal. The one thing I want to keep an eye on is like top 50, you're good. You're done. Now I get Max Homa's won here, saw his defending champ. I don't know what you call this. The Grinches, like guys who literally have nothing to play for except a couple world rankings points and the prize fund, the prize money. Like they're just taking food off the table, taking spots off the table. I'm not saying that that's not their right, but their status is completely unchanged. Nothing about it, no impact, while other guys are kind of trying to elbow each other to death. I'm very intrigued by, is there just some Grinch who just plays for world rankings and cash all fall? I want to keep an eye on that. I get defending champs. I get like the 50 to 60 guys. That makes a ton of sense. But I'm very curious on if there was a top 50 guy from last season that's just dive bombing in, taking food off the table and throwing presents like the Grinch and running off for other guys who really need it. So that's some stuff I'm looking forward to this fall. A couple awards: Mark Few, Jailbreak, the extra Grinch greedy guy, and then Gym Rats, swashbuckling around all fall.
God, they have the rank. They have this rank button on the field list.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what the rank button is? It's like, so if you're on the field and I went to sort by rank. Now, what would you assume that would be?
Are you talking about the PGA Tour leaderboard? Or are you still on the entry level? Are you still on the DP?
I'm on the PGA Tour leaderboard now.
Okay.
If I click on the rank, what would you think that would be?
Probably their current FedEx Cup position.
You're right.
If it's the PGA Tour leaderboard. Yeah.
They have OWGR right next to it, but I didn't see the OWGR next to it. I kind of just went right to the rank to sort, and I'm like, what? Like, there's nobody above 52. Mackenzie Hughes is the first one, because they put this fancy little 50 graphic next to guys in the top 50. They don't even list their rank.
Really?
Yeah.
So those are the ones that are taking food off the table when they have a fancy little graphic too. It's calling them out like a scarlet letter, maybe even. It's just like, why are you here? You just want your extra money, some world rankings points. All right, that's your schedule for the week. We mentioned the KFT. Maybe we could appease James Nitties for that. That is
it's on TV.
It is on TV again.
God, the golf. It's just like golf all weekend.
And there's the Sanford International, the senior circuit. That's on tape delay. It looks like in the mornings. Such a mess.
I think I might have gotten PJ a trip to the Schwab Cup finals.
That'd be awesome. We should send him out there.
My dream is to become a friend of Furyk. This is step one. I'm getting there.
Go to the Jacksonville event.
How are you feeling after last night's game, PJ?
Honestly, I feel fine. I told you,
Jets. Clear, people.
Yeah, just to be clear. I told you I didn't think they were going to win the game. The defense was embarrassing, but Aaron still got something in there. Aaron still got something in there. So we have a quarterback. I have literally never been able to say that in my entire life. I'll take it. I'll take it. Could be worse.
Bears leading the podcast standings.
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, that's fair. So now I got to deal with Tennessee. So we'll see.
Brendan's dream might be coming true with the Deshaun. I saw they're opening up an investigation.
No dream of mine that if a woman was sexually assaulted, I would just like to be clear. That's not a dream of mine.
I was saying from the sense of like something that you could come about that you could void a contract.
Still wouldn't feel great about anything involved. It's a bad quarterback situation. I think I overreacted to the team being bad, but he was not good on Sunday. News. Let's quickly hit some news. Tony Romo entering PGA Tour Q School again, or pre-qualifying for Q School. Is he an amateur? He plays the amateur events. He does Q School.
He's never going to make it.
Catnip call of the week. Yeah. You see Drew Bledsoe like bury him?
Oh yeah,
weekend?
I saw that.
It's just being a guy know-it-all, whereas Tom Brady wasn't. Kind of crushed Romo. Netflix reorders Full Swing season 3, so that is back again. We'll see if Tom Kim gets another episode. We'll see who features in season 3. Feels like fewer guys are saying yes, but I could be wrong. I know Koepka iced him out in season 2. Who knows what happens? The Malbon vest that Jason Day wore, that Fred Ridley allegedly told him to take off at the Masters, was sold at auction for $18,000, and Jason Day, good on him, is putting it towards his charity. I have a question for you, Andy. All things being equal, money no object, is there a historical item, apparel, of which you would pay thousands of dollars of someone else's money to kind of add to your staple, just to say you had it?
Oh, this is a good question. There's satire answers and real answers, right?
I mean, I would say you'd want Jeff Sluman's Paychecks hat. I think that would be in the mix. Something you would pay for to add to your collection. I would love a triplet bucket hat. Kirk triplet.
I think one of the Ryder Cup rain jackets that Paven's wife went into, that'd be good. A Furyk button-down shirt would be great to have. One of the front button-downs.
Tiger's Tanimal is like a legit one that people probably would want. the mock necks, those kind of things. But some of the more esoteric.
What about a Payne Stewart NFL hat, like in your team?
That
like what awesome. The full NFL outfit when they used to run out.
That would be a great piece of nostalgia. I love that.
Woozy's outfit when he won the Masters.
Some of the Faldo sweaters, the Pringle sweaters would be good ones. There's just a lot. But, the Melbourne thing became a viral thing. I appreciate Dave putting it towards a good cause. Last but not least, news of PIF meetings happening in New York City with the PGA Tour.
It's good they could rekindle. They haven't talked in a few months.
It seems like they're meeting. I don't know if I would have picked New York on the week of 9/11 and 9/11 proper. It seems like to meet with the Saudi government, but that may have escaped the meeting room at the Global Home. I'm not sure. But yes, Mark Schleybaugh had a report on ESPN.com, the radar tracking of all the different private jets. Tiger's already up there for his Nexus Cup event, but it does seem like that's ongoing. We'll see. It seems like there's some progress being made. Maybe the strategic sports group is involved now. It's just beyond the PR announcements. The deal is done with them. I think they have their I don't know if thumb on the scale, but certainly eyes looking over the shoulder. I think they're wondering, someone pointed out to me, there's allegedly 30 people who make over $1 million or more, the PGA Tour, which the SSG is well aware of. That was just a comment. I don't know if that's, the precise number. SSG is aware of it. I heard people from the tour were arguing that we're actually a lean operation, which I don't think could be taken with any sort of, I don't think was taken with any sort of seriousness as a real reflection of the ground. But that's ongoing. Strategic Sports Group is in the mix. Everybody's meeting allegedly in New York, and per reports of Mark Schleybaugh and others. We'll see. Seems like there could be some progress when there had been nothing going on really since, who knows, early summer. But and there wasn't really any substantive update at Eastlake of any kind. So you think anything's going to happen this week? Will we have a deal announced by the end of the week?
No.
Okay. I would love for that to be the case.
Do you think anything's going to happen?
No, but from what I understand, there may be some I don't know. Who knows? At least they're meeting again when it seemed like we didn't even know when or if they would meet again. Probably would have picked a different date and place, but...
Did you see the quote?
No.
Tomorrow we commemorate the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 tragedy. Yet here we are today in New York City, down the street from Ground Zero, and the PGA Tour and Tiger Woods are negotiating with them. 9/11 Justice President Brett Eagleson said in a statement. As has been confirmed in the last weeks by the CBS reporting, the Saudi Arabian government played a role in the horrific attacks of 9/11. It is disgusting, unacceptable, and incredibly painful that the Tour and Woods would do this, especially now.
That's gotta cut to the core of Tiger, I would think. Maybe not. But as we've seen, the Tour they don't think of this stuff. I mean, you go and do a far less, serious, but doing a press hit in front of the stock market's tanking as COVID hit. A lot of people
maybe they need to pay a PR person $1 million a year. Maybe that's what's missing. Their public relations department's just mad that they aren't one of the 30 over $1 million.
So good that they're talking as golf takes place in every time zone in the world. Hopefully we'll have movement towards best players playing more often together. So we'll be back late Thursday with the Solheim Cup chat, some golf advice, maybe a little more LIV Bolingbrook analysis, if that's what you want to call it. We will talk to you then.